on their favorite crazy day. My favorite day of crazy days is a blue and gold day because it definitely brings out our school spirit.
My favorite day is pink day when we got to dress up in all pink. PJ day because I just get to roll out of bed and come to school.
Pattern day.
Some students thought it was a good idea to bring crazy days back, but others had different opinions.
I like crazy days because you get to show your own personality, and it just helps you get by the week because you get to dress however you want. And
I think it was a really good idea that they brought crazy days back to Big Sky.
That during the assembly, students were not very well informed of what days were to be crazy and in which way they were to be crazy.
yeah, I think it's a good idea because we can wear whatever we want and just be laid back, and I think it's great. It's a hit.
Okay, along with crazy dress-up days, we've also got a few events this week. Wednesday at 7:30, we have a choir concert. You can check out some of the Waldorf West girls and more. On Thursday at 7:30, there's Laugh Out Loud Comedy Night. And there's going to be tons of movies and lots of funny stuff, and it's only $3 at 7:30. You should definitely come. It's going to be really funny. And on Friday, your varsity boys basketball team plays Helena High, and on Saturday, both play Sentinel.
Although not everyone participated in dressing up for crazy days, most people thought it was a good idea. This has been Anna Mikhailova and Shelby Jerish for Big Sky Live.
All right, so hey, what was your favorite day during Crazy Days week?
You know, I really liked the pattern day, actually. We could wear all the crazy plaid and polka dots, stripes, whatnot. I really enjoyed that one.
That one was my favorite too. I wore a plaid skirt.
All right, well, in order to make 2 crazy weeks in a row, we now have this week Diversity Week, put on by Big Sky's Respect Club every year. Basically, what Diversity Week is a whole bunch of presentations put together for classes to sign up and attend. And the presentations range from everything from race, class, gender, religion, sexuality, basically any diverse topic you can think of, we have it. And actually, Big Sky High School has one of the largest diversity weeks in the country, so that's something to be really proud of. And you can be sure to check out our next show, and we'll have a segment on it, so you can find out what kind of presentations we had and how the week went.
All right, well, this week is National FFA Week, and members around the school will be wearing different apparel for FFA to promote this. The district for FFA is in Dillon this weekend, Friday and Saturday, and Big Sky will be competing in the leadership with parliamentary procedure and public speaking. Also this Friday is midterm for 3rd quarter, so bump your grades up while you can.
All right, for our next segment, we have Tara reporting on the Airy Slam. It took place at the Roxy Theater and featured entirely all spoken word poetry. And what spoken word poetry is basically just regular poetry with more drama and performance added to it. So let's check in with Tara and see what she found out.
Let's get it started in here.
Hi, I'm Tara Brower, and I'm here at the Roxy Theater in downtown Missoula, where we're going to go to the very first slam ever here. A slam is a poetry competition for spoken word poetry. So let's go check it out.
From Northwest East Side, everybody, let's get into it. Get stoked, get it started, get it started, get it started, let's get it started.
Slam worked was names were drawn from a hat randomly to determine who went first. The readers were judged by 5 judges that represent different schools in Missoula. The highest and lowest scores were dropped, and the rest added to determine the reader's score.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity to say that I've been blown away by some of this poetry, and I can't even start to compare. But in my defense, I'd like to say I am looking incredibly sexy tonight.
The slam was held at the Roxy Theater on January 26th, and it was a hit. There were over 200 people who attended and over 20 readers. This blew the Airy class's expectations away, and it seemed that everyone was enjoying it.
Well, we were hoping to get about 15 readers, many people as we possibly could. We're hoping to fill the place. Those were our initial expectations.
Yeah, basically we're just trying to get spoken word out into Missoula, basically, so we can, have more slams and maybe be more successful, because when we went to Sentinel and Hellgate, there was no one at our workshops.
Yeah, we wanted to share the wealth because like we just had such an awesome time with it. So we thought other people would have a good time with it too.
Spoken word poetry was first introduced to the area students by Mr. Zibelman, a student teacher at Big Sky who just recently graduated from the University of Montana. Spoken word poetry is performance-based. The speakers incorporate rhythm and movement into their emotion-filled poems. Mr. Zibelman compares spoken word poetry to a song.
Get into the spirit. It's a corporate way of giving. Advertise, sell, consume, purchase, buy. We have a product you have to try. This is a spoken word poem.
Definitely the sound, the emotion, the rhythm. It's engaging. It's like a song. I love music. And it doesn't have that dry feelings that often people attribute to poetry.
This type of poetry isn't just a hit with the 200 people who showed up to learn more about it, but it's also a hit with the area students. They are attracted to how expressive they can be with it.
I get to yell a lot, and it's just kind of fun to, it's more like acting rather than just poetry. So.
And it's very passionate,
Yeah,
like when you start going.
Yeah, the rhythm is really awesome, like, because in just regular poetry, like, you can still have a rhythm, but you can't be up there and, like, move, and, like, you can't feel it as much as you can feel this. Like, this is...
Among the winners of the night were Petit Tao, who took first place, and Katie Condon, who took second.
Ladies that didn't get paid, and I rocked it with the raid. This was all on the same day, so I prayed. Amazing grace. And for some reason, he didn't hear my praise, so I did it again. Amazing grace. And I was slapped in the face. God turned away, so if you ask me if I believe in He, I say if grace was so amazing, then why am I so crazy? Why hasn't He saved me? Is He just being lazy? Warming knife to my chest, my back to the wall, your face to my face, our feet planted to the ground base. You spit in my face, say I'm too white, a damn banana. Yellow on the outside, white on the inside. You question my faith, I love myself. I try to fight that, but conviction.
This spoken word poetry slam is a great way for these students to express themselves and to have a fun time. If you didn't come to this one, you definitely missed out. But I'll see you at the next area. Thanks. This is Tara Brower reporting for Big Sky Live.
Thanks, Tara. Next month, the new SATs will be coming out. These will include an added essay question as opposed to the old ones that didn't have an essay question.
Luckily, Katie and I are both seniors, so we get to skip out on that one, but good luck, juniors.
Have fun with that. Hey, Brad, have you ever been name gamed at school before?
Yeah, I got name game pretty hardcore today at school. Someone called my name, and I stopped, and I was looking around for, like, the longest time.
You must have looked like a loser.
Pretty much, yeah. All right. What the name game is, basically, someone calls your name in the halls of school, and then they hide. And so you're stuck there looking around to figure out who called your name, and you just basically look like an idiot. So, anyways, Lance is here to report about the name game. So, he's going to tell us a little bit about it. Have you ever been name game, Katie?
Actually, the other day I was in the hall, and I still haven't found out who it is, but it's pretty intense, though. Everyone's doing it, and they're also doing the tapping of the shoulder. So those are both pretty big games right now, big trends.
Yeah, I don't know who started them, but they should definitely stop. I think it's
I think we're gonna need another. I think we're gonna need another trend at Big Sky. So
in my government class, that's basically all it consists of is the name game back and forth. Mr. Lodge will come in, and you hear Hey Lodge shouted about 10 different times.
I think teachers are even starting to get involved in the name game too. I think Mr. Lazlovich is even starting. So
yeah, I agree on that one definitely.
Okay.
All right. Well, now let's go to segments and hear what Lance has to say about the name game.
The new thing to hit the halls here at Big Sky is the name game. It's the funnest thing since streaking.
Excuse me, Buck. Excuse me, Dan.
I think the name game is extremely childish, and the people that are playing it around this school should go back to middle school. because that's where it belongs.
The name game might be the best thing ever created. It is the most fun game in the world. I don't know how I'd get through the school day without the name game.
I like the name game. It's really fun to do, and I do it to my friends all the time.
I think the name game is overrated because I'm pretty sure I get owned every time.
One of the ways Big Sky students can get involved in the community just happened a couple weekends ago on Saturday, February 12th. The Westboro Baptist Church came into town to protest homosexuality and promote their own beliefs about it. And Big Sky students joined community members to form an anti-rally against it. And I wasn't able to attend, but I heard it was very successful. Right now in Helena, with all the legislation going on, there are a lot of issues that affect high school students in particular, one of which is the new driving laws that they just passed. Currently, 50 hours of practice are required before you can get your license, and new drivers must be accompanied by someone who is 21 years or older for the first 6 months. And actually, Montana is the 49th state to have new graduate license programs, and Wyoming is the only one who doesn't have one currently.
All right, well, the Big Sky Documentary Film Festival just hit Missoula last Thursday at the Wilma. Its last day is on the 23rd, which is tomorrow, and over 70 documentaries have been entered into this film festival, one of which is called Life in a Basket, which is presented at Big Sky's Diversity Week this week. So if anyone wants a preview of that, they should check that out. And the Documentary Film Festival are competing for several different awards. But for those high school students who want to be involved in the film festival, MCAT is putting on a show on March 4th at the Crystal Theater at 8 o'clock. So all high school work is able to be submitted, and there's tons of prizes that have been donated from the community.
Definitely, that's a good thing to check out. And it's not just documentaries that can be submitted.
Right.
All kinds of work, news segments, comedy, basically any kind of film work that students have.
Right. All right, well, the Wittenberg Factor by Tyler Wittenberg is our next segment. This is an update on all political affairs, so let's take a look.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Wittenberg Factor here in our spin-tight studio. Tonight's top talking point. Condoleezza Rice is the new Secretary of State, and she got the highest number of nays from the Senate ever, 13, including ones from Barbara Boxer and none other than John Kerry.
Why can't you just be a good boy and die?
While we're on the topic, I feel I should clear something up with you, my loyal viewers. While it's been told for years that Republicans are all a bunch of racist bigots, the Republican Party was actually started in 1854 as an abolitionist group. And what is our first real Republican president known for? That's right, the Emancipation Proclamation. Rice's new position just solidifies my argument, as this will make her the most powerful black American in the history of the United States. After all, she's fifth in line for the presidency. In my opinion, Secretary of State Rice is one of the most competent people in the Bush administration, and I think the only reason that Boxer, Kerry,
Here I come to save the day,
and the other 11 senators voted against her is just out of spite.
You lost the election, why don't you shut up?
Next, I want to talk about one of the real idiots of America. No, not the ACLU. I'm talking about Wade Churchill. He's a professor at Hamilton University in Colorado. Churchill said in class that the victims of 9/11 had it coming to them. He also believes that Muslims who hijacked our planes and killed 3,000 people's actions were justified. Churchill also compared the victims of 9/11 to Nazis. So what's happening to this idiot? Absolutely nothing. He just wasn't able to speak to some radicals because of some death threats. Now, I believe in the First Amendment, but I agree with former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich when he said the university needs to show him the door. I actually think his head should be slammed repeatedly in the door, and then someone should kick him all the way to the unemployment office, where they should let him starve here in this country like the pig he is. I find it sickening that passengers on an airplane are compared to people that systematically slaughter Jews in concentration camps. This kind of crap should be condemned. Churchill should be out on the street begging for nickels, not teaching his un-American bullcrap to our youth. Now it's time for a Bush blunder. The very rare segment in which I join the masses and criticize President Bush, although my reasons are more than, "He's a stupid head." In his new budget plan, President Bush cut funding to many programs, including the fire and police department, but oh no, not the National Endowments for the Arts and Humanities. Mr. President, please try to get your priorities right, as I'm sure there are many things we'd like to see more than a government-funded painting of a stupid soup can. Namely, our house is not burning down. Tonight's fourth and final topic is this. In certain areas of the country, there's been talk the voting age should be lowered to 14. In a way. They say that 14 and 15-year-olds should get a quarter of a vote, and 16 and 17-year-olds should get half of a vote. In my opinion, the 26th Amendment should never have even been ratified. I realize it was because of the Vietnam War, so I say raise the voting and military age to 21. Most 18-year-olds don't know the issues, much less 14-year-olds. And another thing, do we really need something else to upset the elections after 2000? What if someone here won a state by 5,500 votes and 3/4 of a vote? That's all the time we have this month for the Wittenberg Factor. I'm Tyler Wittenberg, and the spin is that-a-way.
Thank you, Tyler. One of the most anticipated events of the spring is coming up on April 2nd. That's right, prom. It will take place in the Big Sky High School auditorium, so make sure to get your formal wear.
Our next are actually journalism conventions coming up April 7th through the 11th in Seattle. Newspaper, broadcasting, and the yearbook classes are raising money to attend. So if you see lots of fundraisers, make sure you support Big Sky's departments on letting them go to the journalism convention.
And if you have any yard work or painting that needs doing, you know who to call.
Also in the Missoula community, Sting is coming on April 1st. 4 seats are $35.50 and reserve seats are $50.50. This will be taking place at the Adams Center.
All right, now we have another one of our Greg's Excellent Adventures. This time, Greg gets caught daydreaming during class. Let's take a look and see what happens.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore can love, is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore can love, is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love
Great. Class is over.
was made for me and you. Love was made for me and you. Love was made for me and you.
Speaking of dreaming, March 21st through the 25th is our spring break. Big Sky students are already planning trips to the remote hot places. But for next year, students might not be so fortunate to have a spring break. So we'll find out later this next school year and see if they have one or not.
All right, next up we have our student spotlight on Big Sky student Jesse Goodburn, who we actually have in the studio with us right now.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi.
First question is, well, how did you get involved in writing?
I've been writing since I was in first grade, and I have journals from 5th grade through 7th grade and everything. I've been really into it in journalism and creative writing at Big Sky, but
Cool. And which do you prefer, slam poetry or regular poetry?
Well, slam poetry is really fun, but I've had a lot of problems writing it. And when we first were introduced to it, I didn't get very much done. And it took me about 2 months, and then the reading happened, and I was like, I want to write a poem. So I did that day.
Very nice. All right, so as we're going to find out in a minute, your poem is about dancing. So can you tell us how you first got started in dance?
I was just dancing around, and my mom thought I should take dance classes my freshman year in high school. So that's pretty much.
All right. And as we're going to see on your segment in a second after this, you really enjoy your African dance class. How did you get involved with that?
I went to a workshop at the International Thespian Festival in Nebraska, and it was taught by a woman from Arkansas or something. It was Mama Yeye, and she was really cool, and I thought, I want to do this again, so I came here and found a class. And
wow. You're also the drama president this year, so what does that job entail for you?
I organize the meetings and keep the troop morale up. That's in my job description. And I've also been involved with the State Board of Montana, organizing it and working with that at Thespian Festival.
Cool.
So are you planning on continuing dance in your future?
Yes, but not as a major. I'm going to continue in college, and probably for the rest of my life with like African and that kind of thing.
So what do your after high school plans entail then?
I'm planning on going to the University of Oregon and studying English of some sort, humanities.
Excellent. Well, thank you for coming, Jesse. Now we're going to go to segment.
Hi, I'm Hannah Zuber. For this episode of Big Sky Live, we are going to introduce you to the very talented Jessie Goodburn. Jessie is involved in various activities, including playing the piano, painting, and dancing. She is also very active as the Thespian president.
The fun thing is I run the meetings at our Thespian meetings, and that's the main thing, is organize that and get together stuff for the troupe, Thespian conventions, and basically just organizing and trying to keep people together, let people know what's going on.
And is the news editor for the Sun Journal. Jessie takes various dance classes at On Center Dance and Music. She says her most interesting class is her African dance class.
I started taking an African dance class last year, which is probably the most interesting. But it's taught by a woman who used to teach at the university, and she teaches at a church now. And it's basically just crazy dancing, and but it's culture too, African culture. I'm not feeling it today.
Down for you?
What?
Beat down?
Yeah, I think it's the shoes. I gotta have the feeling in my feet. Center, jazz and ballet and modern and point. And that's about 15 hours a week now. Actually, I cut back on some classes for time, but.
Now we're delighted to have Jessie Goodburn perform live her poem Dance Revolution from the Poetry Slam reading.
This is a dance revolution. We will be free to shake it, free to get jiggy, free to frolic, free to prance in dance pants, free to be bootylicious, free to get down with our bad selves. For too long we have been plagued by aching backs and tired knees without questioning their cause. Let them be a bother no longer. We will chasse, si, son, saute, and so de our way to sovereignty. Let us ratify our right to rumba, satisfy our desire to samba, and leave no one behind, because tangoing takes two. This is a free country, and we will not relent until every woman, child, man, American, Native American, African American, European American, Asian American, Southern American can shimmy. My fellow Americans, this is the time of free movement. Let us raise our arms to the sky and let liberty shower upon us. Drums will beat, trumpets will sound, and we will release the rhythm from the depths of our souls.
Arms will flail, legs will intertwine, and the gyrating movement of our hips will pulse to the drum beats. Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum. Let us expose our weapons of mass destruction. Yes, good. Evil laughter. No, evil dancing. My friends, I am here to call upon a dance revolution, a choreographed jihad. The time is now. Wait no longer to arm yourselves in pride, liberty, and rhythm, and prepare to dance.